Hello everyone and welcome to the next session of Core Java. In this session, we will discuss about interface implementation. Basics of interface we have already discussed about. Now we will see how to create an interface and how to use it in our applications. So in this project, in SRC folder, right click, new, and I'm selecting interface over here. We'll specify name of an interface as animal. When I'm going to make use of an interface is when I know that what will be the behavior, but I'm not sure about the implementation. And when I say that I know what will be the behavior, the standard I know, and I'm setting up a standard for further classes to define it, right? So this is an interface named as animal. Now, when we think about any animal, how many animals are there? And what all features are there in each animal, right? So when I think of animal, there are n number of animals. They have different behaviors. However, for the same category of behavior, they behave differently, isn't it? Means what? So the habits of all the animals are same, right? So every animal will eat and every animal will speak. However, how this behavior will be implemented by each animal specifically is different. And at this particular point, I cannot predict onto that. However, I can predict onto just the specification, just the standard which will be followed by all the animals. And at this particular point, I'm not able to predict a specific implementation or specific behavior because it depends on what type of animal I want to represent. But this is a common behavior, we can say, common characteristics, we can say, which are there in all the animals. So I'm setting up a standard over here. Now I will create a class which is implementing this particular interface. Right? So I'm creating a class named as cat, and cat is an animal. Cat will eat, cat will speak. So again, is a relationship, reusability, and following the standards. So cat implements animal. Now, once a class is implementing any interface, there is a contract set up between the class and that interface. And what is that contract is a class implementing that interface must define all the abstract methods, because interface is going to have all methods as abstract methods, right? So the contract over here is the class implementing any interface must define all methods. Failing to do so means if a class is not implementing the methods, then that class must be declared as an abstract class and it must be inherited, because unless the abstract method is defined, it cannot be executed. So this cat must implement all the methods, else this cat class will be declared as an abstract class. So the cat eats, say, milk, and eats something like this. Now, how many animals can be there? N number of animals. So I'm creating another class, dog, which is an animal. Dog will also speak and eat. So we can do that. You can see two quick fixes are there. One is add unimplemented method or make type dog abstract. But I don't want to keep it abstract. We will add unimplemented methods and we can this is the way how dog is going to speak. Now let's create a main class, say animal main, which will contain main method. Now through this interface, we can achieve multiple inheritance up to certain extent, because one class can implement multiple interfaces at the same time. And also a class can inherit and implement inherit a class and implement an interface at the same time. This can also be done. Here I'm creating a reference of animal. This is reference of animal, and reference of interface can hold object of a class implementing it. Through this, we can also achieve runtime polymorphism. What is runtime polymorphism? Dynamic binding. So which method is being executed at a certain point is decided at runtime. I'll just copy this over here because we are going to call same methods. So reference of interface can hold object of a class which is implementing it, and through which we can achieve runtime polymorphism. Now we can have variables declared in an interface. However, whenever we are declaring variables, these are always constant. You cannot modify the value. So what we can do over here is we can simply print the value. So system.out.println animal of animal, like this. This value cannot be changed. This variable value, if I will try to change the value, so say for example in this method, I'm trying to change the value. Obviously this is not the correct value, but yes, we are looking at what happens whenever we are declaring variables in an interface. So whenever any class tries to modify that value, we will get a compilation error. It says that the final field animal.legs of animal cannot be assigned. So this is not possible. So whenever you need any standard in the form of variables or in the form of methods to be defined for further classes to implement, you can make use of interfaces. Also, it is the way of achieving multiple inheritance as well as runtime polymorphism. These two things can also be achieved by usage of interfaces. Okay, thank you.